So hello friends, welcome back to my channel. As the September of 15 we have the availability of IXEG 737, which is classic, and it is available here in Explain 12 right now. And I will not cover with this video all the stuff around this airplane, like in sim settings or everything like this, but I will just show you a few tips from the real life operations regarding to 737 classics, if you would like to know. And then we will perform the circle to land. We are currently in Bergen Airport, and I will show you how to properly set up the airplane for the departure, how to retract the flaps, and how to extend the flaps within the schedule. Because this schedule, you have to know it by your memory, so it's like a memory items within the QRH. So, well, let's jump to it. And first of all, I would like to point out, yeah, we are currently at Bergen, and I have airplane prepared for the departure, except I leave the APU on. Why? As soon as you start the APU and put the APU on bus, then put one pump of the main tank to on position in order to extend life of the APU, and wait 1 minute to have the APU stabilized, and then configure the bleed panel. In classics, it's very crucial and very important to do it like these steps, because there are two types of APU. One is Sunstorm and one is Garrett. All these APUs are very weak for the operation, so that means that we have to follow some additional procedures which you are maybe not get used from next generation Boeings. So how the bleed panel looks like when you are at the gate and on the APU. Basically, it looks like this one. We have APU on bleed, isolation valve in on position, one peg in auto, and one peg is off. Okay, so this is the bleed configuration once you are in the gate. If you are making a turnaround, you can recycle it, so like this one. Okay, and when you are off the pushback and prepare airplane for the taxi, just ensure that isolation valve is properly working. And how to do it: simply make it configuration like this one, and when you can see the needles are split, then you can put the APU bleed to off position. And basically during the taxi, when 1 minute is passed, in order just again stabilize the APU, then you can put the APU switch into off position. Now I am moving into the pressurization panel, which is old style, and this pressurization panel is analog. Okay, so in here you will set your flight level in which you are currently flying on supposed to fly. In our case, we are performing the circle to land, so I will put 5000. We will go for 5000, and here you can put here you have to put the landing altitude. So we are in Bergen Airport. Bergen Airport has 150 feet above the main sea level, so put it 150. And then into the cabin altitude. In next generation Boeings, it is automatically pressurize the cabin slightly before the departure and after landing, in order to avoid the stress for the fuselage and for the passenger comfort as well. So this and he will goes minus 200 feet below the landing airport elevation or departure. Okay, now we have to put the airplane, or tell to the airplane that okay, so this will be our minus 200 feet. So what we can do right now, as we are in Bergen, so we put minus sign here, and 150 minus 200 is minus 50, so we'll put minus 50 here. And once you are ready for taxi, you put the flight ground switch into flight. as you land with the airplane, and taxi to the gate, put the switch back to the ground position. So that was the tips within the main overhead panel. Here is something which disagree, according to my opinion, with the real life. What I'm missing here is GPS lights, because if you look at the FMC here, index page and position page, you can see that we have GPS left here. So, well, this airplane should be equipped with GPS, but if the airplane is equipped with the GPS, we should have the light as well on the aft overhead panel, which we shouldn't have. So reconsider your approach, which is related to RMP approaches, or standard instrument arrival or standard instrument departure, which contains sentence with GNSS only. Okay, in order to be precise and in order to be close to the real life operation. Okay, so next things I would like to point out is that within the classic series you have only two availability for flap setting for departure. Is it either flaps 5 or flaps 15, nothing between. Okay, so you have to choose flaps 5 for departure or flaps 15 for departure. No flaps 1, no flaps 25, no flaps 10 like on NG, flaps 5 or flaps 15. Okay, so another thing I would like to point out. Now, how to set up the altimeter setting for departure. It's really simple. We put the QNH, I don't have the light weather right now, so 1013, and this yellow or amber bar is going to engine out acceleration altitude. In our case, or let's say, assume you are departing from Oslo, which is 700 feet above the main sea level. That means that you put 700 plus 800 feet, which is our company acceleration altitude. Maybe your company acceleration altitude will be different. Anyway, so we have 800 feet. So 800 plus 700, we have 1500 feet, and then we can accelerate the airplane with engine out. As we are in Bergen, we have 150 feet approximately, so I will in this case leave it near 1000, so 900 and something. And this is our memory items, and that if we reach this bug, we can accelerate the airplane. Or if we are about this bug, so we can go with this with acceleration. Anyway, now jump to the airspeed indicator. This is quite a tricky situation. Why? As you know, we put V2 140 knots on the MCP, and now how we are setting the airspeed indicator. One bug is going to 80 for airspeed indicator cross check. One is going for clean configuration, and now we have to determine what is our clean configuration minimum clean speed. Our minimum clean speed is, you can show the green dot here, but in real life you have to know what is your gross weight for as well for the departure and as well for the landing of the airplane. So we are currently now below the 53 tons, so that means that our clean configuration will be 210 knots. If we are above 53 tons, so we are going to 220. Okay, so now we are going to 210. And right now V1 we put it's 129, and rotate is 131, so it's approximately within this position. And this bug is going for it's a memory items that when the speed is about this green bar, about this bug, we can start with our flap retraction. So it's V2 plus 15. So we have V2 140 plus 15 is 155. So we put here. Okay. And now what next? Weather radar. Weather radar, you have to press it here, and you have to switch it on here. Now you can see we have the reflection from the ground, and How it works on the departure, always put it 7 degrees, 8 degrees up with tilt antenna. So as you can see, +7 is okay. You don't have any reflections. As you are climbing, each 5,000 feet go down with 1 degree. In flight level, you should have approximately 0 to -2. It's up to you and up to what is your scaling of the navigation display. In this case, it's not the navigation display, it's called AGSI. It's engine instrument horizontal situation indicator. This is AIDI. It's attitude indicator. Okay, so another tricky thing is this decision height reference indicator. If you are making a departure or takeoff, always put it into -20. Why? You want to avoid the call-out decision height when you are passing 200 feet. If you are performing any kind of the approach except category 2 and 3 approach, so that means ILS Cat 1, VOR, NDB, okay, if you would like to, but I will avoid it, but if you would like to perform LNAV approach or LNAV VNAV, which according to my opinion IXEG is not approved to do so, you leave it as well as -200, -20. If you are performing category 3 approach, okay, feel free to put the decision height here. But for the other approaches, -20 right here. So now we are departing from Bergen. I will pre-select my navigation settings. In some classics you can see the auto and manual mode. Well, this is not the case. This switch has purpose. If it is in manual mode, you have manual pre-selected ILS for landing, and as well for the departure. If you are expecting, for example, maybe you will expect engine failure, so you have pre-selected ILS, but once you are airborne or you are performing the departure which is AirNav, you have to have it in auto mode. So in this case, all the inputs are coming to the FMC, and FMC is computing your current position. But this is out of the way. So that's it, and right now we can jump into the takeoff and how it looks the flap retraction schedule. You have to know it by your memory. So the procedure is basically the same. Press toga, or let's say like this one. Put the engine stable and to 40%, and then press toga button. Verify that we have N1 toga. We have heading select on FMA, and we have thrust hold approximately within 90 or 100 knots. As soon as we are airborne, we put the desired roll mode within 400 feet. As we are approximately 800 feet, we should have the arm as well here. And this airplane has automatic climb reduction within 1,500 feet above the ground, above the AGL, above the ground level. If not, for most classics, they don't have automatic climb reduction. In climb reduction altitude, press N1. As you reach the flap retraction altitude, put the speed bug into clean configuration bug, which is pre-selected, and start to retract the flaps. The flap retraction looks like, again, the schedule depends on your gross weight, so that means once we are reaching V2 plus 15, we can go with flaps 1. Once we have 190 knots, we can go with flaps up. If we have gross weight about 53 tons, so with 220, so the schedule will be, we are reaching V2 plus 15, okay, so go with flaps 1. As soon as we have 200, go with flaps up. Okay, so this is the retraction schedule. And there is another thing I would like to point out, and this is when the auto throttle is in arm position. You can move with thrust levers anything you like, because the servo motors are disconnected and there will be no trip auto throttle within the classics. Okay, NG is a little bit complicated. In some airplanes you can occur the auto thrust disengage. But anyway, that's it, and I hope I cover everything regarding to our departure, and regarding to the landing we'll explain it once we are airborne. So now the things go quite quickly, and I have Thrustmaster joystick which is not comfortable with IXEG and Zibo as well, so it will be quite a little bit hard to as well steer the airplane, as I don't have the rudder pedals, and to keep the airplane with desired flight path. So please disregard this issue. So we can go parking brake, never set on active runway. This is just a training purpose. Okay, so with the parking brake off, we have verified that we have flaps within 5 position. It should be within the checklist, and now we can go. So I will put the toggle button, and now we can go. I'm suffering with stuttering as well, so please disregard this unpleasant situation. We have 80 knots airspeed indicator cross-check. We have threshold. This is a little bit unusual indication. It should occur at about 100 feet. Anyway, we want to rotate, so we can go up. Okay, so we have positive rate. We can go with gear up.
Flight slow. Flight slow. Flight slow. Flight slow.
And now we have 400 feet. We keep it in heading select because we are proceeding straight ahead. We have arm. If you would like to perform some NADP procedure, feel free and then press N1 or set it into the date of reference page number 2. But now we have climb reduction N1, that's okay. Approximately 3200. We'll start to accelerate the airplane because Bergen Airport, I guess, has no specific procedure NADP 1 or NADP 2. I am using my company procedure 1500 feet climb reduction, 3000 feet acceleration. This is most common for all the European airports. So right now we are approaching to acceleration altitude, so bug up, and as you can see we are about V2 plus 15, so we can go to flaps 1. Okay, once we are reaching 190 we can go with flaps up. And once we have flaps up, we can put the desired mode, for example, level change, autopilot engaged. Okay, so I have not properly trimmed the airplane. Okay, so back again here. Okay, so auto brake off, this will leave like this one, start switches off, we can make a turn. That's it, we can accelerate a little bit, for example 230 in order to have some under protection speed margin. This was the departure. Right now we will prepare airplane for the landing. So this will be just quick enough. In FMC we are missing progress page number 4, so we don't have the proper fuel calculation, but anyway, I will put ILS runway 35. It's perfect. Within the legs page we can make it, we cannot select the intercept course here, so I will put it like this now. We can start to turn for downwind position, so 184 for example. And so in this case I will grab flaps 30 on, or yeah, we can make it flaps 40 for explanation. Okay, so we have flaps 40 and VREF is 132 right now. Well, MCP is set, so we have curses for ILS 350. We have as well navigation setting pre-selected 110.5, that's okay. So right now we have decision altitude 364, so we will select it here. So put the bug into 360 approximately. Okay. Here, as we are not performing the category 2 and 3 approach, we put it into -20. Okay, in order to have improper callout. We have in rainy conditions, so start switching into continuous. We put the auto brakes on 2 because the runway is wet, and right now what will be our speed bug settings? I will leave 1 in 60 for closing the thrust reverse, 1 in again clean configuration, and our gross weight is below 53, so 210. And now 2 bugs are going to VREF. VREF is 132, so approximately right here. Okay, this white bug is now going into VREF plus 20, so we have 132, 152, and this is our go around acceleration bug. Okay, so this was discussed the altimeter setting, and this was discussed the airspeed indicator setting. Rest is the same, and yeah, we can go a little bit down. Okay, we can go with flaps up, we can't go below this white bug, this is the clean configuration bug. And what is the schedule? Okay, again, the schedule is memory items, and you have to realize what is your gross weight for the landing, or what is your landing weight. Okay, again, we are below the 53 tons, so once we have 210 knots reaching, we can go with flaps 1. Once we have flaps 1, we will decelerate within 20 knots down, so that means 190. As soon as we have flaps 1 and 190, we can go down again 20 knots, so we can put flaps 5 and go with 170 knots. Then we can choose the flaps 10 and we can go down with 10 knots down, so 160. If we are going with gear down flaps 15, again 20 knots down, so 150. And the rest, if we are making the transition with the flaps 25, we are going 10 knots down, so 150 to 140. And then we select the flaps 40, and then we are going to VREF. We will select the VREF. Okay, so I hope it was clear enough, and we will practice it. And there is one more thing regarding to the hydraulic system. I will explain it to you later on, but basically when you are performing pushback, always set hydraulics pump A switches into off position. Why? Because this is old style airplane within the gear pin installed. Yes, you remove the hydraulic pressure, but it can be the fluctuation with the hydraulic systems in order to avoid the damage within the nozzle gear steering, as well the ground personnel. So when you are performing the pushback, B pump on, A pump all to off position. Okay. I will remember it to you once we are on touchdown. So we can perform the base leg, and now we can practice it. Okay, so flaps 1, we have flaps 1, we can go 190. You can go down 3000 feet. Okay, once again, just for confirmation, with CDU 110.5, we have 110.5, 350, 350 minimums are set, auto brake set, everything is prepared. Okay, so now we can go with flaps 5. Okay, so flaps 5. Once we have flaps 5, we can go to 170 knots. Okay, we press the localizer. Remember, on classics, do not catch the glide within L now. It's always press the heading select, even if you have the simultaneous approaches, it's crucial. Okay, so heading select, and within the heading select, we will capture the localizer. Make it within 45 degrees or less in order not to overshoot the localizer. Okay, we can preselect 1100, this is the next altitude. Okay, we have localizer captured. Can put the approach, can go down a little bit more in order to catch the glide slope. And now we can go with gear down. Okay, so gear down, flaps 15. Okay, and we are going with flaps 150, but we will need to wait to capture the glide. Okay. Okay, we have glide slope captured, so we can go flaps. Sorry, speed 150. You can arm the speed brakes. Start switches we have on continuous. Advise the cabin set the missed approach heading, which is 350. Missed approach altitude, I think it's 5000. Okay, as we are approaching the airport, you can see we have airport inside, we have puppy as well in good position. So now, as we are going to flaps 40, we are going first with flaps 25. Okay, so flaps 25 and again 140, okay, speed. And once we have flaps 25, we have stable speed. If you are not unsure with the speed, look at the flat placard, which is right over here. And now we can go directly to flaps 40, and we can go with our reference speed, which is 132, and we have no wind conditions, so VREF additive will be +5, so 137. And now we are fully configured for the landing. So we can disconnect the autopilot, we can deselect the speed, and now we have the thrust levers into the arm position, so we have automatic go around if we press the toggle button. Okay. We are a little bit high. Okay, and closing thrust levers approximately 10 knots of RA, sorry, 10 feet above it.
40, 30, 20, 10.
Okay, so we are on the ground, we should use the thrust levers as well, if we wish so. Okay, as soon as we reach the 60 knots, you can see on the bar we can close the thrust levers. And again, I will stop the airplane right here. And I will set the parking brake, and please do not set parking brake on active run, it is forbidden completely. Okay, this is just for the training purpose, set the parking brake. And well, right now, if you are taxiing to the gate, again, flight ground switch to ground in order to a little bit pressurize the airplane. And yeah, that's it. And well, as I didn't mention before, once you are performing the pushback from the stand, hydraulic system A off, B leave it on. Okay. And once you see the guy with the gear pin moving in the hand, you can put the system A hydraulic pump switches on, verify your hydraulic pressure within your panel, right over here. Okay, it's okay. And now you can set the desired flap setting for departure, again flaps 5 or flaps 15. So I hope to cover everything. So well, that's it. That's all, folks. See you next time soon. Have a safe flights. Bye.